Welcome back to the channel. Today we have something a little different. I'll rank the top 5 US Disney parks. Let's rank the magic. Being at the bottom of a list like this is no insult. Every one of these parks is worth your time, but everyone has preferences, and for me, I prefer Animal Kingdom the least. Let me start with the good things. This park is absolutely beautiful from a landscaping and theming perspective. Features awesome trees and vegetation, offering the true feel of a good zoo, but with a nice overlay of a theme park and its amenities built right on top. The area around Avatar Flight of Passage is absolutely spectacular. That tree is amazing. And though I didn't love that ride, I liked it a lot. And it has an absolutely phenomenal queue. And the wait is often so long you need that awesome queue. But for all Animal Kingdom's great looks, that's not all it takes to make a theme park. When you really get down to it, there's just not enough to do here. It has the shortest ride lineup in any US Disney park, and that ride lineup also isn't that strong. Expedition Everest is an excellent ride, and Avatar certainly had an awful lot of money poured into it, but at the end of the day, it's a glorified 3D theater. People often say this is a half-day park, and well, they aren't wrong. This park really needs a few extra rides scattered around to make it worth the trip. Food-wise, Animal Kingdom is no slouch. You can get some great tasting barbecue here, and it's not everywhere you can get a cheeseburger bao bun either. So if you're interested in just walking around and eating great food, you can have a great time here. But there's a better park for that higher in this list. Okay, this is definitely a weird one. I love rides. I've been across the country in search of the next best roller coaster or ride experience. In many ways, my theme park lists start and end with what the best rides are at that particular park. And if you ask me what my favorite ride of all time is, it's not the tallest roller coaster I've been on, or the one with the most inversions. It's a ride that pulled me in like no other, and it's Rise of the Resistance. I talked about what a great queue Avatar has, but the Star Wars nerd in me loves the Rise queue even more. I could live here. Every time on it, I look around in amazement at all the detail and all the work that had to go into this ride. Amazing. If you're a Star Wars geek like me, you'd think you could spend all day in that land having a great old time, but the truth is you still need more. But thankfully, this isn't just about one ride. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is in many ways just as jaw-dropping as Rise. And that's in Hollywood Studios too. But still, there's just something missing. This park feels like everything is tacked on or forced into the theme. I do understand that unless you made Galaxy's Edge its own separate park, you can't really fit it with other stuff. But the other stuff doesn't feel cohesive either. Like, what does Rock and Roller Coaster have to do with anything here? I feel like maybe this park as a whole would be better if you just stripped away the Hollywood Studios pretense and named it something generic. But even getting back to the rides, the top two here are beyond amazing. But how long do you need to spend here to ride these two? Well, to be fair, both of these can and do have some insane wait times. So that has to be another knock on this park. I just find myself hitting Galaxy's Edge, maybe having a Ronto wrap, getting a ride on Runaway Railway, and then heading out. There's nothing compelling for me to spend my time on here, other than waiting in lines for two phenomenal rides. But I'll keep going back anyway. My channel does focus quite a bit on coasters, but when I talk about EPCOT, everything changes. I'm thinking of that iconic big old golf ball, fantastic and vast food choices, and an amazing variety of cultural themed areas. It's not that there are no rides here, it actually has a nice mix of experiences that are different from a lot of other things in Disney. Living with the Land, Spaceship Earth, and Mission Space are all Disney classics. It also just happens to have one of the best roller coaster experiences in Disney World with Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. But when I really think about the experience of EPCOT, I'm thinking of the beautiful theming of all the different lands and how those are coupled with ever-changing, amazing food experiences. I can spend a little time thinking about what I'm craving, and chances are really high I can scratch that itch right in EPCOT. I've spent the majority of my park time at a Six Flags near where I grew up, and that place was never about the food. The variety of food in EPCOT just can't be beat. And to be perfectly honest, this is probably the only park I've been to where I'd be happy even if I didn't get on any of the rides, though I always do. It's quite possibly the best park I've ever been to if you just want to take a leisurely stroll on a beautiful day and, well, eat everything in sight. And if you're ready to skip waiting in lines for a while, you can't do much better than riding the monorail over to EPCOT and dialing things down for a bit. I never went to Disney as a kid. It just wasn't a thing that my parents grew up doing, so it never became a thing that we did as a family either. I think there's something about Disney that's passed down through generations, and well, my family never got on that particular boat. We lived close to Six Flags Great America in Illinois, so we certainly spent a lot of time every summer at that park, but I don't remember even really thinking about Disney. But that's the thing about Disney, I still knew Disney, and the image I carried around with me was Magic Kingdom. So when I finally made my first Disney trip in my 40s with my own kids, it still felt like I had been there before. And of course the first park I went to was Magic Kingdom. That street, that castle, that energy. I thought I would like it, but I didn't realize how much until I actually got there. My first look down Main Street in Magic Kingdom paid off decades of wondering what it was like. But again, rides mean a lot to me, and there's some great rides in Magic Kingdom. I think it's the second best assortment among all the parks on this list, and I'll get to my top park in that regard soon enough. Magic Kingdom is a great intro to Disney in so many ways, and the iconic rides like Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, and the Haunted Mansion are all here and all a big part of it. But that's only just the beginning. The two mountains, both Big Thunder and Space, are both here. The wonderful selection of Fantasyland rides, and as the cherry on this particular Disney Sunday, it has what might be the best pure roller coaster in the entire chain, the Tron Lightcycle Run. And like every park on this list, it has a lot of great food options as well. It's the first park I went to and I had heard that Disney food was great, but I was a little skeptical. It's a theme park, right? Then I had the buffalo chicken tots. Wow! And I couldn't pass up a giant chili cheese dog the next day either. With this collection of rides and food options, I can easily spend a whole day in the Magic Kingdom. And that amazing castle, that probably has had more pictures taken in front of it than any place in America, makes it a great park to stick around in past dark with the lights, fireworks, and more. If I only had one day to spend in Disney World, and I could only go to one park, this would be it. Disneyland has the best ride lineup and the best weather of any park in the chain. Some might argue about the weather, but imagine 95 degrees in Southern California, and then imagine it in Florida. It was 95 in Anaheim when I went to Disneyland with my family this past summer, and I was worried. We only had one day to go to the park, and the last thing I wanted was bad weather to ruin it. Was it hot? Sure it was. I had a sheen of sweat most of the day, but put me in 95 degrees in Orlando and I'd be a puddle on the sidewalk. And that ride lineup? I don't think it's even arguable that this is the best one. If we extended this list to Disney parks around the world, we would probably find better. But in the US, this is the top dog. Take every glowing thing I said about the rides in Magic Kingdom, repeat them here, then add Galaxy's Edge and the best ride on the planet, Rise of the Resistance. Game, set, match. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. All those classic rides, they started here. Now they may not be the best version of each one, but they are all at least a very good version of the classic. I enjoyed Pirates in Disneyland a lot more than the Magic Kingdom version. The Haunted Mansion seemed on par and had the OG flair. And I don't have a single complaint about the mountain rides. And they throw in another fun one here in Matterhorn bobsleds. And my 12-year-old loves anything Bigfoot/Yeti, and that's not all. I also get Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and the awesome and unique Indiana Jones. This ride list just doesn't quit. And I feel like this is redundant to keep saying about Disney parks, but it has great food too. I don't think you can do much better than a Dole Whip on a hot California day. And like most other food in Disney parks, it's higher quality than you might expect. There's no boring old theme park food here. The barbecue place serves actually pretty good barbecue. The cheesy garlic pretzel bread is crazy. The Rhino wrap never fails, and that's all quick service. In the end, I think it's pretty simple. Disneyland has the best collection of rides in one single park. It has the best weather of any Disney park. And though I wouldn't say it has the best food in a Disney park, it's at least on par with everywhere else. If my family can have a great time on a hot, really busy day, you've got a winner. So if I had one day for one park, Disneyland would be it. So what's your number one US Disney park? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and reach out if you need help planning your own Disney vacation.